and people were stumped. The next comment, level up, which one's your cool? Even though one of these girls here literally had an eye out, a defining feature of our faces, people still couldn't be sure that was her. The top reply literally says, beep, this one is too hard. Other than facial features looking similar, I think something else that makes these women hard to tell apart is the fact that they all have a similar style. Yes, yeah, colors in this picture. Don't ask me which one though, I'm still stuck in level 2 of this game. These pictures are shared by socialites on their profiles, and a quick scroll through will show a lifestyle of opulence, filled with fancy hotel visits, designer outfits, and dining at upper class establishments. They're the epitome of money talks. Except this flex is a lie. This topic has similarly been covered by Clays and Jay Gao, so go check them out. I love their content. Coming back to our socialites though, these girls are truly the champions of anti-waste because their setups could not be more reduced, reused, and recycled. Look at this photo Yeka posted at an expensive hotel wearing a designer outfit. Except another socialite has posted the same photo, same outfit, same angle, same location, just a different person. Maybe one photo is a fluke, but all these different settings? One might guess that they're not just sharing outfits, but splitting the cost of a lifestyle they can't individually afford. Like, no one's even touched the food on that table. I know the camera eats first, but the camera's the only one eating. They're both even holding the exact green apple. Don't be shy, take a bite in the next picture. And my personal favorite of these expo photos is this one, a ski photo that Yeka and two others all posted. I can't even make this up. It's the exact same photo. I guess they were thinking, well, it's not like anyone can see our faces anyway. But damn, that's lazy. This is finding Yeka's final boss. There's only one person on it. Now tell me if this is your favorite. But unlike other influencers who flex how rich they are and show off what they do, we have to remember, to be a billionaire's wife, we have to have a heart of gold too. So you know one of the other socialites we mentioned before, this is this photo where she's releasing a fish to the right. Oh, how sweet of her. She's so kind, she really cares about the environment. Oh wait, isn't there another socialite doing the exact same thing? You know what would be funny? If they released this fish, got the picture, and then caught it again to take the next photo. Now they let the fish know your next move. During social media, socialites present themselves as a beautiful, kind, and wealthy woman. And if they do in their lives, their interests are perfectly aligned with their future husbands. If Loka, Luna, and Yeko went to socialite parties, then they are the obvious success stories. Now that we know what these parties hold, it's time to look more critically at what these courses reveal about Chinese society and social equality. Or, what does it say about society if women are really enslaved, change their face and their entire personality as now? And what does the Chinese public think about these boot camps? For every Loka, Luna, and Yeko, thousands of women in socialite parties receiving training and fighting to be Joel, a 23-year-old who attends these classes, justifies a hefty tax fee as a professor. She explains how she grew up in a family that is more poor. As a result, she often compares herself to her classmates who are rich and seem to be living for their lives. Nowadays, she believes that if she can really make it as a rich man, she will have to. And her response are two clear ideas. One is of course, even necessary to be two, for some reason, a growing number of Chinese women seem to think that marrying a rich man is their best shot at the Let's explore both these ideas. First, the significance of wealth in China. There's three ways to this: philosophically, practically, and socially. Let's go back to Confucian times. Historically, Confucianism acknowledged the pursuit of wealth as a natural human instinct, but emphasized that it should not be driven by materialism alone or obtained through innate means. Success and wealth allowed you to provide for your family, embodied filial piety by giving back to your parents, and enabled you to care for your children well. And as long as your success was achieved morally, it reflected virtues like hard work and dedication. Therefore, wealth represented not just material gain, but a bundle of virtues. Today in China, a get-rich culture blends these traditional values with modern materialism. A peasant's financial status or any ability is almost held in the highest regard. For Chinese men, often grateful, happy, and able to marry or have kids just together. The burden to provide is as important as the life. For women, there's often a difficult trade-off between pursuing a career and raising children. Life would be easier for both genders if being equal now. The this perspective, financial independence is practical, even necessary, to live the life you want. Beyond philosophical and practical reasons for women to be rich, there's also a surface layer of social appearance. Chinese culture is highly influenced, and a person's self-worth often depends on how others perceive them. This is evident in the many Western cultures, which tend to emphasize an independent life, where self-worth primarily comes from women. Because of this, Chinese people may boost their self-esteem by influencing how others see them, which is why you have people flexing designer items and putting their lavish lifestyle on the blog. So everyone around them thinks, yeah, they're living for their life. They're doing everything they want to do. These three layers, philosophical values, practical reasons, and social appearances all strongly motivate the pursuit of wealth. And if that is the goal, the question now is, how do Chinese get these guys rich? This ties into the second thing we're going to in James' response. She believes marriage is the best solution. But let's see what other options she has, because that will allow us to understand why she chose marriage. To become rich in China or ascend up the class ladder, there are three main ways: education, getting job on, which then leads to working careers, entrepreneurship, and marriage. The first way, decided academically, is a path with brutal competition. It is the default way for one to choose their life and gain greater social mobility. In the lead up to the Girl College Chinese University admission exam, high schoolers often study for 12 to 16 hours a day. That's almost all your waking hours spent studying with no time for breaks. It's insanely difficult and stressful, and at the end of the day, only a very small percentage of students are rewarded with a prestigious, high-paying, and stable career. The next part, entrepreneurship, has the highest potential in but it also requires rich. And the last part is marriage. Looking up and out not only your own marriage, but because the partner is rich. I think if we were to choose between us being the rich one ourselves versus being the man rich, most of us would say we want to be the rich one. So Joel's decision to opt for marrying someone rich reveals how the other two routes to are becoming less and less equal. The golf cart is too common. And most businesses for its increase. It almost seems as if marriage is a ordinary choice. Marrying rich can get you the same explosive housing project stopping the golf cart or creating a successful business. In this sense, it may be the easiest way to quickly quit your life. Like a couple of years but many women may feel this way, and socialite classes actively encourage it. Their whole pitch is that marrying rich is a means to choose a or wherever. And if you remember Amy, who allegedly runs socialite ads and slicing dice, she actually was involved in TV shows because she was unexpectedly of training ordinary in response, she said this is all nonsense. Does the public really think celebrities are idiots and this is being true? Well, I don't know if this is a hot take, but you know what? I think the most convincing ones are the ones we want them to be. For example, after the dating group for 7 especially if they're better than you in many ways. That'll be really upsetting. Sounds a bit like better masculinity to me. If you dated another celebrity, I think you would very much be dealing with a capable woman. Now compare that to another woman who approaches her, and who may change her entire personality and looks just so she could be with. The power dynamics and the way he's treated in these two relationships would be completely different. In fact, there's one girl who attended a social class with four people saying, don't treat your future husband as your husband, treat him as your boss. My point here is, Amy is probably right. These celebrities aren't dumb. Certainly, they aren't ignorant to the allegations of their wives coming from socialite camps, especially when this was being blasted by the media. But regardless of what their intentions may be, if these couples end up getting married, then I think both sides are getting what they want. The couples may have gotten a happily ever after, but such fairy tale endings are not guaranteed for the girls and the courses. And for many women in China, the simple existence of such boot camps is like a slap in the face. Amy also went on a debate show in China, and after introducing herself, she said, all the girls know me, all the girls are my fans. And in response, one audience member went straight for the jugular. She didn't even let Amy breathe because she got the mic, stood up and said, I'm sorry, but I really dislike you. No matter whether you're joking or not, I need you to know, A lot of girls dislike you. Then she continues, I think you're basically a human trafficker. What you're doing right now is packaging women up as commodities to be sold. I don't mean you're literally selling them, but you're treating them as products. You're objectifying them, and I think that sends a really toxic social message. Wow. The reality is, traditional paths to wealth like the girl car and entrepreneurship are becoming so competitive, many people feel exhausted just thinking about the work required to come out on top. But marriage is not a fail-safe way in securing upwards mobility either. There is nothing wrong with marrying a wealthy partner or choosing your marriage partner wisely, because it is one of the most important decisions you will ever make in your life. But if you face an academic or entrepreneurial setback, these failures can still be growth. Worst case scenario, you don't end up rich. Well, you just feel like everyone else, getting through life day by day, waiting for the next big episode. But if you fail in attracting a rich household after attending these socialized courses, which had you pay hefty sums, go under the knife, and change your entire personality to become someone paying your time, what is left with you? I don't think the fault here lies with the girls who are taking classes. To me, it's a combination of competition and so some people just don't want to be a part of it anymore. And socialite courses recognizing this burnout, so they exploit this reality, pitching their get-rich-quick pathway that only requires a small cost of your money, your body, and your soul. Let me know your worthwhile in your socialite partner. Do you think you have what it takes to be a billionaire's wife? And much like how these socialites face to take, how are you to beg for you to subscribe? It's something small, but it helps me out massively and putting out more videos to fight this one. So thank you so much for listening. And a big shout out as well to my patrons. You need feeling up when you have patrons support. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!
Huanggang Village in Shenzhen is widely recognized as a wealthy village, and it used to be famously known as the Mistress Village. Back in the day, the village was full of beautiful women. Their boyfriends were mostly businessmen, white-collar workers, and truck drivers who traveled between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. At its peak, Huanggang Village had around 50,000 mistresses. The village was packed with massage parlors, karaoke bars, nightclubs, and other places associated with the sex industry, earning it the nickname a paradise for Hong Kongers. However, in recent years, as Hong Kong's economy has declined, the once popular trend of keeping mistresses has gradually faded.
That's surprising. Holy shit, what the fuck? Why would they stop that?
Huanggang Village is separated from Hong Kong by just a river. Although it's called a village, it's essentially in the heart of the city. This village, with a history of over 700 years, is now known as one of the most affluent urban villages. The village gate is decorated with intricate dragon carvings on stone pillars, with lions standing guard in front, creating a luxurious atmosphere. Even from a distance, you can't help but marvel at the grandeur that sets it apart from other urban villages.
Yeah, this looks really good.
In the 1990s, Shenzhen took advantage of its proximity to Hong Kong, leveraging special policies and incentives.
Where's the mistress part? Okay, it's coming.
Era.
Never mind. I was worried.
As a result, a large number of Taiwanese, Hong Kong, and foreign enterprises came to invest and build factories in Shenzhen. With capital flowing in, many investors and business people from Taiwan and Hong Kong followed. Shenzhen, as a special economic zone and the forefront of reform, also attracted thousands of migrant workers, including many young and beautiful girls.
What a surprise.
Most came from rural areas. Some were quite simple and used to a hard life, making it easier to get along with. They carried the burden of supporting their families at a young age. At the time, wages and prices in Shenzhen were relatively low. Wealthy men from Hong Kong could spend between 4,000 to 8,000 Hong Kong dollars to keep a young woman in an urban village.
Damn. And so they just spent that money? Holy fuck. That's crazy. Okay.
The so-called mistress villages were residential areas where wealthy men had their mistresses. During China's rapid economic growth, some businessmen and officials would secretly establish themselves on the outskirts of the city to fight for their lives. These urban villages created a special community and were seen as symbols of indulgent lifestyles. Huanggang Village is near the Huanggang Port, which was the key crossing point between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. A certain flashy group of people regularly passed through this port. They wore large gold chains, carried bulky cell phones, and spoke Mandarin with a Hong Kong accent. They frequented the most upscale restaurants in Hong Kong Village, often accompanied by young, beautiful women.
This crazy how popular that shit is over there. I feel like over here it's like way less. It's like way less common. Like nowadays, I feel like nobody really brings this shit up at all. Like maybe every once in a while I'd see this like normalized in like Las Vegas, but I feel like over there it's totally different.
As this lavish lifestyle expanded, certain residential developments in Shenzhen's Northern District, like Eugene Garden and Jingwu Garden, became known for their high concentration of mistresses. In the mid-1990s, Shenzhen's central area shifted westward to the Fujian District, and areas like Shangshan Village, Shaju Village, and Shuiyu Village became favorite hotspots for Hong Kongers to hide their mistresses. The widespread and open practice of keeping mistresses was arguably unparalleled in Chinese communities. According to Hong Kong anthropologist Professor Tan Xiaowei, by the late 1990s, 1 in 6 Hong Kong men working in mainland China had a mainland wife. Not all.
God, dude. So 1 in 6 of these girls just showed up? Holy fuck. Kind of 2 of mistresses are just hookers? Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Some of these men were big bosses. Some were ordinary workers earning tens of thousands of Hong Kong dollars per month. Hong Kong, as a port city, served not only as a central hub for economic and trade exchanges between mainland China and the West, but also as a link connecting mainland China and Taiwan. At the time, Hong Kong was one of the top free trade ports in the world, and a global logistics center, with the advantage of being a duty-free port. It had one of the busiest container terminals globally, and various service industries flourished as a result. Hong Kong's container truck drivers and taxi drivers were already earning over 10,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. Hong Kong Port became the busiest border crossing for both passengers and crews in China, and it was also the first to operate 24 hours a day. With trucks frequently traveling between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, a trend of long-time mistresses to Shenzhen emerged. In the evenings, areas near Guangdong ports such as Guangdong and Shangshan Village would be lined with large container trucks parked along the roadside as drivers headed to their love nests to meet the mistresses.
Damn. Oh my fucking god. It's insane. Yeah, this is... I guess that makes sense.
Back then, village and Hong Kong truck drivers could earn around 30,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, which was incredibly tempting for young women from other provinces who came to Shenzhen for work. These women, who often worked overtime and only earned around 1,000 yuan a month, were drawn to the possibility of a much higher income. What's surprising is that the mistress industry became completely open, with no taboos around either seeking a sponsor or being
It's just totally fucking normalized. Oh my god.
a sponsor. Some Hong Kong businessmen even openly recruited lovers, and the mistress industry adopted a referral system. A woman who had already become the mistress of a Hong Kong man would recommend her cousins or close friends when she knew that her lover's friends were also looking for someone in the mainland. These women, often matched by their hometown friends, quickly became mistresses to Hong Kong truck drivers. The men would rent a place close to the border and provide their mistresses with around 4,000 to 5,000 Hong Kong dollars a month for living expenses.
Damn. All right.
Aside from waiting for the drivers to come back for a short rest, the daily routine for these women consisted of shopping, playing mahjong with their friends, and comparing who received the most money from their patrons. Many Hong Kong businessmen, especially those involved in the jewelry and clothing trades, also followed this trend and started maintaining second homes in Shenzhen. Over time, not only rural women, but also female university students became a primary source of mistresses. It was a well-known fact that female university graduates faced employment difficulties, especially since many companies discriminated against women. Some of these students, burdened by student loans and struggling with financial difficulties at home, felt immense pressure to find a job quickly. If they couldn't, the impact on them was significant. Whether they were working-class women or university students, their goal was the same: to make money quickly, improve their lives, and support their families. When they couldn't achieve that through conventional means, becoming a mistress seemed like a natural alternative.
What a surprise. What a fucking surprise. Yep. I feel like this is what happens anytime. Oh, if it is AI? I don't think it's AI. It's just somebody reading the same way. Yeah, I think this is pretty normal. It's a symbiosis. Yeah, I feel like people do this in every culture. This is super fucking normalized. It's not even a question. When they're working, they look fucking miserable. The whip is always yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. It's the same as like OnlyFans, right? I mean, OnlyFans is it's a different way of this, but I feel like it's pretty much the same thing.
At that time, the mistress industry in Shenzhen had already become well organized, symbolizing a certain sense of fashion and trendiness.
Do you think this is bad or good? Is it bad to have a mistress culture? I feel like it's probably bad. Yeah, I do think it's bad because like then you're gonna have a lot of kids, and then like the kids probably end up getting born, and then they don't have a dad around. I feel like it's probably not good for the culture. Yeah. Sounds pretty bad. I would say so.
Even though Shenzhen the name Mistress City. Mistresses in Shenzhen generally fall into two categories. The first was the long-term type, where the woman's Hong Kong boyfriend was usually older, and there was a more established emotional bond between them, making the relationship relatively stable. The second was the short-term type, where the relationship only lasted around a year or so, resembling more of a cohabiting boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
See, that's what's crazy to me about it. It's like they just have people that live in that are like basically paid girlfriends. Oh my god. People hook up through OnlyFans. I feel like that happens a lot with like Instagram because like I see models talking about that all the time. It's super fucking common.
Typically, when the man stopped showing up or refused to pay for her upkeep, the woman would break up with him, sell off everything in the house, end the lease, and either leave Shenzhen or find another man to support her. According to a report by Phoenix TV, there were as many as 50,000 mistresses in Hong Kong Village alone. Other areas like Bagua-Lun, Honggui Road, and Xinzhou were also densely populated with mistresses. In other parts of Guangdong, such as Zhangjiakou and Dongguan, the number of mistresses reached a peak of 120,000.
In one fucking place? Yeah, this is insane. If I have to upgrade it, I need to move there? This is insane. Pay me to exist? I know. This is insane.
It's estimated that there were at least 300,000 mistresses in Shenzhen. Many Hong Kong men chose to have their mistresses settle down in these areas, and if you talk to these women, they would all say the same thing. In a couple of years, my child's father would arrange for the residency. Adi, a young woman from rural Hubei, saw her allowance from her Hong Kong boyfriend increase from 8,000 yuan a month to 20,000 yuan. She kept herself well-groomed, visited beauty salons for manicures, enjoyed afternoon tea, played mahjong with friends, and spent her evenings watching movies or chatting online. She had a comfortable place to live, and her job was simple. She only needed to spend 4 or 5 nights with her boyfriend each month. Every time.
Wow. What a fucking job. That is crazy. Oh my god.
He would also give her gifts like bags, shoes, or cosmetics. For Adi, who had never finished middle school and lacked any real skills, this lifestyle left her feeling content. One girl once said, working in a factory means laboring for over 12 hours a day, barely earning a few hundred yuan. Living with a Hong Kong man means no work and no worries about life. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. True. That's the thing is like a lot of them, they probably don't have anything else they're going to do. So yeah, they're just like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, and also like they probably make way more money doing that than anywhere else. I feel like that's like it is a very, very true thing.
Taste cold steel.
My 4-pound Billy Sue, Purple Hair America, expect the same. Maybe, right?
As the mistress became more common, the mistress villages flourished, coinciding with Hong Kong's golden age of economic growth. The community in these villages became increasingly complex, with relationships becoming more transactional. Take Xiaolin, for example. She stopped her education after middle school and heard that she could make good money in Shenzhen. To support her family, she followed her fellow villagers to Guangdong for work. At first, she worked in a factory and lived in a dormitory, but soon she moved out. She met a wealthy Hong Kong businessman who claimed to be single and said that she was lonely before he abroad.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yep, there you go. Take the call? I guess so. Yeah, women have live easy lives? Bro, come on. Hasn't wants to change jobs? Yeah, where is this again?
Xiao Ling, young and inexperienced, fell for a sweet talk and became his mistress. Later, she found out that he had a wife and daughter in Hong Kong.
Alas, a champion has
That's never happened before.
Even though she realized
Yeah, that's never happened.
she should give up her comfortable life. The businessman promised Xiao Ling that if she could give him a son, he would give her a lump sum of 300,000 yuan, a huge amount at the time. The condition was that the child would be raised by his wife in Hong Kong, and Xiao Ling would not see the child again. If it were a daughter, she would receive 30,000 yuan, but the child would still go to the wife. Xiao Ling accepted, reasoning that even after 10 or 20 years of hard work, she couldn't earn that kind of money. After Shaolin gave birth to a daughter, the businessman quickly arranged to send the child to Hong Kong. It wasn't until Shaolin experienced the pain of being separated from her child that she realized what sort of deal she made. She begged the businessman to let her keep the baby until the child's first month, but he refused and transferred the promised money to her. He also told her,
What a surprise. What a surprise. Yeah, shit start. No, this is how it is. Yeah, the wife knew. I guess so, it's gotta be trafficking. That is actually like, so that's another big reason why a lot of this stuff can be really bad, is that the overlap between this and trafficking, huge fucking overlap. Massive fucking overlap. It's not even, it's so bad.
to disappear immediately.
Especially like, and it gets, see, like it gets worse and it gets better in some cases when it becomes legal, right? Because like the people that are doing it in a way worse way when it's legal, but, sorry, when it's illegal, but there's probably a lot more people doing it whenever it is legal.
Warning that if she continued to bother him, her reputation would be ruined. Xiao Ying then realized that she would never see her child again, and the businessman ruthlessly abandoned her. Many women in the mistress villages had experiences similar to Xiao Ying's. Some didn't have children, but their stories often ended in sadness. After China joined the World Trade Organization, it became closer to Western countries, and incomes in mainland China started rising. Real estate prices continued to climb, and the pressure of high costs discouraged Hong Kong men from keeping mistresses in Shenzhen. Nowadays, Hong Kong...
They get expensive, bro. That's the whole inflation right there. Oh my god. Do the children or use organs? Yeah, exactly, right? And you know, it's really fucking scary. It is. Like, that's why it's bad. For only consequences are actually rough and we're going to that. Well, I think that, like, you can notice that, like, something like this is bad, while at the same time saying, you know, like, it's obvious that, you know, like, there's a bad component to it as well.
Hongkong's economic growth has been dragged down by the mainland's economic slowdown and tensions between China and the U.S. Foreign investments in Hong Kong are rapidly withdrawing, and Hong Kong's status as an international financial center continues to decline. Former mistresses either sell off their possessions and look for other men to support them, or return to their workplace. They're like a form of property attached to their patrons, always at risk of being discarded. One woman who had been a mistress to 4 different Hong Kong men said, "Now, Hong Kong men have no conscience when it comes to mistresses, because
I wonder why." Yeah, there you go.
Rise, my fist
Back to factory, yeah, hosting expensive? It is, yeah. What the fuck do you expect? Exactly. Women on only wage making good money, it's pretty bad. I think it's probably more complicated than that. I think it's like it's the people that come from villages that didn't have other opportunities that would come and take advantage of this because of that.
Because of the economic downturn, they don't offer lifelong support anymore. It's become more like a monthly rental arrangement. In recent years, you hardly see Hong Kong drivers in Hong Kong anymore. Industry insiders say that Hong Kong drivers can no longer afford to spend money in the mainland. Their annual income has dropped to around